This is the video for Create Performance Task Rubric Quiz Part 1. All right, so problem number 1. All right, so we have this written response and we want to know if this earns the point for row 1. So we read, the purpose of this program is to allow an individual an outlet for creative expression by creating a picture of an ice cream cone with the number of cones of their choosing. All right, so if we look at the scoring guidelines, row 1, right, the written response describes the overall purpose of the program, right, which is true. Okay, so the purpose of the program, creative expression. All right, then it describes what the functionality of the program is demonstrated in the video and describes the input and output. All right, so the video shows the user clicking on the canvas. The video showed a user clicking at 200, 100 and the program asks the user to enter the number of scoops they would like. Does this earn the point for row 1? The answer is B, false, right? It does not earn the point for row 1 because it has not really described what the video shows. And then it also does not describe the output. All right, so number 1 is false. All right, let's read number 2. Purpose is to write a program, right? That is not the purpose of the program, right? And so if we look here, describes the overall purpose of the program, okay, that is not true. So number 2 would also be false. But we do want to make sure we read because down here in this part, it could describe the purpose, but it doesn't, right? So number 2 is false. All right. 3, the purpose of the program is to allow an individual an outlet for creative expression, right? So, okay, the purpose, all right, is good there by creating a picture of an ice cream cone, right? With the number of cones of their choosing. All right, the video shows a user clicking on the outer parts of the canvas and getting a message to click in the center. Then they click in the middle of the canvas and then the user entered the number 2. The input is the coordinates of the user clicks and the number the user enters. And the output is an ice cream cone with 2 scoops drawn on the canvas. All right. Is that enough to earn the point for row 1? All right. So we make sure. All right. The written response describes the overall purpose of the program, describes what functionality of the program is being demonstrated in the video, and describes the input and output of the program demonstrated in the video, which is true. So number 3, the answer is true. This does earn the point for row 1. All right, let's move on to question number 4. All right, now we are looking at rows 2 and 3. So we're going to scroll down here. All right, we're going to look at row 2 and then also row 3. All right, so we have this list, colors equals pink, yellow, purple, and then we have a label using colors. All right, print, click on the canvas, app.count equals 0. All right, so in the written response, the name of the list is colors. The values in the list are used to represent the colors or flavors used in the program. This list is displayed when the program first runs, and then these colors appear as colors of the scoops when the ice cream cone is drawn on the canvas. All right, so let's look at the scoring guidelines, okay, for row 2. Includes 2 program code segments, one that shows how the data has been stored in the list, one that shows how the same list is being used. And then also from the written response, identifies the name of the variable and describes what the data contained in the list is representing. All right, so have we done that for row 2? Okay, here's a list, and then the colors list is used in this label, okay, gives the name of the list and what it represents, right? So it looks like the answer for row 2 is true. So number 4 is true. All right, but what about number 5? All right, so now we need to look at row 3. All right, row 3, the written response includes a program code segment that shows a list being used to manage complexity in the program. All right, so has using this list made this program easier to write? Well, the fact is that we just used colors right there, right? That's the only thing that was shown. So would it have been any different if I would have just put pink, yellow, purple as a string instead of colors? And the answer is no, right? This code segment would not have been any different. And so that code segment does not show how this list has been used to manage complexity, right? And so then we wouldn't really even need to consider the explanation for how the list would manage complexity, but it actually doesn't go into any explanation of how the list would necessarily help manage complexity because that isn't showed in the code segment. So the answer for number 5 is false. This does not earn the point for row 3. All right, same thing for the 6 and 7, rows 2 and 3. All right, so once again, okay, colors equals pink, yellow, purple. So we've shown it being stored. Then it says for X in range scoops, circle equals 200, 250 minus X times 100, 50, fill equals colors X. All right, and so now here, each time this loop iterates, colors X is going to be colors 0, then colors 1, then colors 2, right? And so now we are showing that list being used and being used to manage complexity. All right, so now let's make sure. Do we get the point for row 2? The name of the list is colors. The values in the list represent colors or flavors. Okay, so now we have talked about what we need for row 2. So does this earn the point for row 2? Yes, true. All right, now let's read this one. The next part. The list manages the complexity of the program by allowing the for loop to iterate the number of scoops that the user has selected. Without the for loop, the program would need a few if and elif conditionals to determine the number of colors to use for the drawing and appropriately fill the circles with colors. All right, so let's read row 3. Okay, includes a program code segments showing management of complexity, yes. Explains how the named selected list manages complexity in the program code by explaining why the program code could not be written or how it would be written differently without the list. So that's what that explanation does. So this earns the point for row 3, true, right? So number 7 is true. All right, let's keep going. All right, on to questions 8 and 9, also referring to rows 2 and 3. All right, so once again, okay, have we shown data being stored in a list? Yes. Have we shown the data in that list being used? Yes. Okay. The name of the list is colors. Yes. The values represent the colors or flavors that will be used to fill the scoops. Yes. All right. So has it earned the point for row 2? Yes. True. All right. What about row 3? The list manages complexity of the program by making it easier to write the program by allowing the user to have a variety of colors and flavors. Okay. That is insufficient for row 3. The answer would be false. This does not earn the point for row 3 because it hasn't actually explained how the program could be written differently or how it could not be written. All it said is just making it easier, but without an actual description of how it would be easier. So the answer for number 9, row 3 is false. All right, so that is part 1. Move on to parts 2 and 3.